We are here in the car on the way to see Lauren Southern and Stefan Molyneux. Just found out the venue about an hour ago. Apparently it's somewhere out in the sticks, miles away, to make it a lot harder for Antifa to come and protest. I don't know why they do that. I think Antifa are the most fun part of these kind of things. I say that now, but you know, who knows what might happen later. What do you reckon, Dave? Looking forward to it?
Yeah, I am. There's a few things I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to meeting my future wife, Lauren Southern.
Dream on, David.
Yeah, I'm wearing my lucky underwear, Matty.
I've got to tell you something, David.
What's that?
Melbourne are more likely to win the flag 3 times in a row than you are of ever even touching Lauren Southern.
That sounds like a challenge.
In a private part area, that is.
That sounds like a challenge.
It is a challenge. Good luck. Good luck with that. I don't see it happening. But I mean, she's a lovely girl. I'm sure you guys would make a fantastic couple.
Oh, we would.
We would.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts so far? Like, given the preemptive issues that we've had with politics and venue and all that kind of thing.
Well, I think at the moment our biggest dilemma is, do we do a drive-by of Broadie Station, where we think Antifa may be, or do we go straight to the venue? I'm just interested just to see what's going to happen, like how many Antifa will be out there, and like whether they can be bothered. I think it's getting late. It's cold. It's a really, really cold day, and it's a long, long way out from Melbourne. I think we're not going to have that much trouble.
When we arrived at the venue, the police had already surrounded the Antifa fools. As is normal for leftist protests, they were doing little more than yell mindless chants. Woohoo!
Racist or not, Muslims are welcome, racist or not, Muslims are welcome, racist or not.
It didn't seem to occur to them that Muslim isn't actually a race. I guess being left-wing also means not having to worry about pesky things like facts and evidence. I tried to get a closer look from another angle to see if I could spot a protester who might actually have a real job, but was quickly ushered away by a police officer, for my own safety of course. Inside, the venue was buzzing. Books were on sale, people were in good spirits, and even Bluebeard was there.
And guess what? We've just seen the guys from The Unshackled wave. How's it going?
Yeah, going well. We're all pumped for tonight.
Yeah.
We're having a fantastic time.
What's any events? Like what's going on so far?
Well, obviously we've been pushed. The event's been pushed out to the far north of Melbourne. Obviously, Carth. They thought we're doing really well, but so far, from what we've seen, the performance they've put out the front is not much.
We've just been doing our little stall here, but there's been a lot of activity out the front, and it's been crazy. It's been absolutely crazy, but we're having a good time. We're all safe. These guys have done a great job. So yeah, good show all round.
I thought it was a little bit pathetic, the protesting show. Actually, it was just a bit of a bunch of fools chanting, which is pretty much what you'd expect from a normal leftist protest.
Yeah, look at this room now. It's packed with people. Everyone wasn't deterred. They want to hear what Lauren and Stefan have to say. This is an important event for Melbourne, and everyone's definitely pumped.
Okay, so we just got into the venue, ran into the guys from The Unshackled Way, asked them a couple of questions. It's good. It's a buzzing crowd. Plenty of people here. Everyone's in good spirits. Antifa were being subdued by the police, who are doing their jobs, but I don't know, I'm feeling good. I think it's going to be a good talk.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm interested to see what Lauren says about her documentary. I'm interested to see what Lauren says about the migrant crisis in Europe, and I hope somebody asks her how it feels to be a man.
Yeah, and it's also worth noting that the Victorian government is essentially trying to charge Lauren Southern $68,000 to charge her for her own protection against the people outside. First of all, the people who are protesting outside are the ones who actually need protection. Let's be honest about that. Lauren Southern doesn't need the protection. She could organise her own private security, and we saw Blair Cottrell was here before. There are plenty of people here that would be able to step up and protect. I mean,
Blair was heading directly out to them. I reckon like he might, just walk up and they'd just be like, oh.
well, I can imagine that would antagonise them quite a bit if they saw him.
Yeah.
It's just horrendous that the Victorian government would try and charge her for something that they are already paid for through our taxes.
Well, yeah, free speech costs $68,000 in
Apparently.
Melbourne.
Well, it's £900 in England, and here it's $68,000 just to have a speech.
$68,000 probably gets you about £900.
Yeah. How's that for one of the best scams in history? Imagine if you're the government, someone goes to have a speech, you go and you give Antifa protesters $10,000 and then you charge their victims 6 times that. I mean, I'm not saying that's what they were doing, but the way that the law is set up, it was a very easy way of scamming people out of money and fining the state fining people simply for having opinions that are not liked by the left. They can't argue against them; they just don't like the opinions.
I've got to say as well, like I'm really looking forward to Stefan Molyneux. Like,
I'm only here for Stefan. I mean,
that's the big
Lauren
one.
Southern's fantastic, but I'm a massive Stefan Molyneux fanboy. Even I like Molyneux more than Milo by a long way. I think he's fantastic. His book's out there, The Art of the Argument. Already read it, and I read Universally Preferable Behaviour halfway through the Everyday Anarchy. So I'm really getting through all his work. I really love Stefan Molyneux stuff, so I'm really glad that he's here.
For me, I want to rewatch a couple of his videos. The one on Rome, the one on World War II, and I'm still working through Sweden. Like since I last saw you, another 20 minutes through.
I got about halfway through Sweden, and then I kind of got the gist of it, and I was like, don't think I can handle this anymore. It's just a little bit sad.
Yeah, sometimes often when I'm watching a video, like there's only so much you can take. Like sometimes I literally have to stop watching because it's just like when you look at like everybody who's here, like we're not here because everything's hunky dory. We're here because like there are serious issues. We're not here because everything is hunky dory. We're here because we are seriously concerned about where our country is going.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's actually here, and we want to hear some good arguments from people, an interesting talk, and again, it's great to see so many people turn up for an event despite such vicious opposition, which for some reason only happens in Melbourne. I didn't see anyone there that looked likely to have any kind of meaningful job, I might add.
Like you said, like they're being protected from us.
Yeah.
It's a big scam. There's not that many of them.
And you look at what happened to Antifa in Portland a couple of weeks ago. This is what happens when they don't have police protection.
Yes.
And the fact that, the police are trying to charge Lauren Southern and by extension her fans for what they're doing is pretty horrendous.
Well, I was going to say they're not going to get any money out of Antifa, but they probably could. They could probably build George Soros.
Maybe they could build George Soros.
Yeah.
Maybe they could just get them all to shave their armpit hair and sell it to hairdressers for wigs or something. Be the stinkiest wig in history, but it would still be something that they can maybe make money out of it.
I think you'd probably have you'd have the UN biological weapons organization.
That's it. We'd be spreading the Ebola virus and the Black Death because they're all rats and all the fleas would be in there, and probably wouldn't be sanitary for the people who wore the wigs. But at least they might actually make a bit of money. So we might. Yeah.
I agree. Some people might say that this discussion at the moment is not that intellectual. I'm like, it's an argument.
It is an argument. It counts as an argument, technically speaking. Anyway, let's have a look around. Maybe we can interview some more people, or maybe we can just head and watch the talk. Who knows? That's it.
Thanks, David.
Look who I found. The one, the only neo-Nazi white nationalist, crazy.
Worst person in the world.
Worst person in the world, depending on who you ask.
Yeah.
Blair Cottrell. It's lovely to meet you finally. Been a fan of your work for a while. I love the fact that you're willing to tell the truth, whether other people believe it or not. I agree with a lot of what you say, and I think you probably don't think you're brave, but I think it's excellent what you do. So just, what brought you to this talk here today?
I saw recently Lauren Southern's Farmlands documentary. It really moved me. It's currently playing a few times now. I think it may have just finished. And I had the privilege of meeting Lauren Southern earlier in the week, and I think what she's doing is great. I think what Stefan Molyneux, who's also here, is doing is also great. I love their work. I've always been a fan, and so I took it upon myself to come down here and show them my support.
Excellent, excellent. So, how long have you sort of been in sort of the activist game, and what sort of got you into it in the beginning?
Probably only 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
And what got me into it was I just read a lot, I studied a lot, and I found that I could string a sentence together reasonably well. And so I thought I'd just offer my services to my country.
It's fantastic.
I see that my country hasn't got much of a future, and I think the more spokespeople we have, the more people we are contributing to this information war that we have to keep winning, the more chance we have of waking up people up to the realities.
Exactly, I agree. And it's like the more people who are willing to stand up and say what they think and tell the truth about what's happening and the fools outside and the kind of things that they do and the way they want to silence any kind of opposition, the better, because if one person stands up, they can knock them down, but if 1,000 people stand up,
what are they going to do?
What are they going to do? They can't get us all, can they?
You can't beat us all up, you can't arrest us all.
Yeah.
We're growing by the day. More and more people are waking up, and there's going to be a big political turn, not just in this country but in the world. Everything's going to turn around. The left won't be in power for much longer. They've hit their pinnacle and they're ready to fall.
And you can really see that they are on that decline, and I think a lot of the recent violence, like the threats of violence and the actual violence, is maybe a reaction to the fact that they are declining in influence.
It's a state of desperation.
Yeah.
First it was the left wing were all about freedoms and liberties and freedom of speech and all that kind of thing. But now that they're in power, they don't want that. They want the opposite. No liberty, no freedom of speech. Do as they say, or you're a Nazi and you're going to jail.
Yeah.
Okay? And their anger, their emotional outbursts is a state of desperation to try to hold on to that power. But it's only slipping out of their hands faster as a result.
Excellent. Very well said. Thank you so much.
No worries, bro.
Keep up the great work, mate. It's excellent.
Thanks,
Well done.
buddy.
Thank
Cheers.
We have run into the one and only Squeaky Latina.
Dia.
Squeaky.
Dia.
Welcome, Dia.
Hi.
Great to see you here.
Welcome.
Do you know, I
should
asked
say
her.
welcome to here because I'm part of the whole thing.
She thinks she's one of the cool crowd.
As usual, like when we get the three of us together, I'm just going to let you two chat. This is magnificent. The chemistry.
Yeah, it's wonderful sometimes. I just have to plug my ears a little bit, just every now and then. It's great, excellent work coming and volunteering with everyone. It's good stuff. How's it been so far?
It's been pretty good, pretty hectic. Lots of drama, but we're here.
And we're alive as well.
We're alive, it's great.
Somehow we're alive.
Yes, I got my selfie with Lauren. I'm yet to meet Stefan.
Wow, I actually just got an interview with Blair Cottrell, which
I
is
saw.
fantastic.
Fabulous.
I'm very happy, great content.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, nice, really nice guy. Lot less threatening when you're nice to him, I found. I would imagine that the left don't get that side of it.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah. So anything you wanted to add to the camera? Any comments?
Just that I'm now part of The Unshackled. I'm a contributor for them, and I'll soon have my own show on The Unshackled.
The Unshackled, Dia Latina.
Yes, but I still have my own YouTube channel. I'm still interviewing really great guests.
And you should check out. Her interview, with Robert Spencer, the one on what is it? Islam. Yeah, a really good
He said he'd
interview.
give me $5,000, but I think he's right. What I said was wrong.
Oh wow.
I like that, man. Like, he can quote chapter and verse from the Quran, just like that.
Yeah.
And someone will raise an issue and say, oh no, the Quran doesn't say this.
Yeah,
And then
he
he'll be like, no, in this one it says this.
Yeah, he knows his shit.
Yeah, really truly.
Even the infamous Neil Erickson was there. Soon after, we took our seats in the main area and Lauren Southern entered the stage to rapturous applause. She spoke about multiculturalism and Western culture. She pointed out that you can't have people integrating into wider society and also multiple cultures. She argued that Australia is not a multicultural nation, as our elites claim it to be, but is actually a Western nation. Her arguments were compelling and well received by most of the crowd. But not everyone was so happy. Not sure why Neil Erickson got himself kicked out, but soon after, there was another.
And another one. Scum! Scumbag!
How'd you go, scumbag? Losing, bitch. There's another one. Where's the other one?
And then there was another one who tried to rush the stage.
We got another one!
Sure you do, sweetheart. How many live in your home right now? None? It's none, isn't it?
Guys, just a big round of applause for our security. Big
Up next, the man of the hour, the one, the only, Stefan Molyneux.
It is great to be out of the studio. It is great to be among such wonderful people. I just have one simple question. No, it's just a comment.
Not an argument.
Come on, you saved yourself for me, didn't you? Tasty scraps of remaining free speech up here you want to nibble on?
Molyneux took on the sacred cow of Aboriginal culture pre-British settlement and pointed out some harsh truths like the rate of infanticide, violence and starvation. He pointed out that societies built on incorrect moral absolutes will always succumb to societies that allow doubt. That saying, I don't know, is the path to progress, while saying, I have all the answers, is the path to stagnation and cultural death. He spoke brilliantly, with humour and compelling arguments, and he did it all without a single note, in true Molyneux style. It was all very well received. Afterwards, there was a long Q&A session. I believe this talk was recorded, so hopefully we get to see it later on.
So, what did you reckon? How'd you like it?
I really enjoyed the speeches of both of them. I think Lauren Southern did a really good dissection of multiculturalism and just why logically it doesn't work. Some key points that she made, like the idea that if multiculturalism means people coming to a new country and forming their own enclaves, isn't that how countries form in the first place? Yeah. That just blew the whole thing out of the water. Yeah. I really loved what Stefan had to say, like basically saying get over the white guilt. It's basically being used as a con to fleece you out of money. Yeah. I thought they were just tremendous arguments. That's a really short summary, but they were the key points I took from them.
I mean, you made obviously some really good points. I thought Lauren Southern, her talk was quite insightful. It was about what I expected in terms of an anti-multiculturalism speech. Yep. Really liked Stefan Molyneux. I mean, I was mainly here for Stefan. Yeah. Lauren Southern was just a bonus, really. But I was really there for Stefan. I loved his talk. He talked about the truth about Aboriginal culture ultimately, and you know, moral absolutism when you're wrong, and the value of just saying I don't know, and you know, what does it mean when you say I don't know, and how that actually lets you go forward as a culture.
It was an interesting one there, because to me it seemed like a good starting point. I wasn't completely satisfied with him finishing off with it as well. Yeah. Like it seemed like a sort of, that's it? Finish off with the I don't know. Like to me it seemed like a starting point, and I think it would have been better for him to finish off with the focus on what is it, being inspired by your past and all that sort of stuff. It seemed like maybe he was recapping. I don't know.
I don't know. I didn't find his ending all that bad. I was like, I thought the way that he finished was very Stefan Molyneux-like in that he wanted to finish, but then he thought of something else to say, and then he said something else, and then he said something else.
How about his jokes?
His jokes were great, like the dad jokes. Yeah. They,
The dingo joke.
the dingo stole my
Oh
baby.
my god, he made the dingo joke.
Wow. That's amazing.
That was a corker.
What a joke.
Yeah.
I was like, holy crap, that's very offensive, Stefan.
I
But
loved
it was
it.
fantastic.
It was the highlight of my evening.
It was really funny. It's one thing I've been talking about since the finish of the show is the fact that Stefan Molyneux did his whole speech without a single note, meaning he's probably rehearsed it and knows what he's talking about. But to be able to go for as long as he did,
And ad lib along the way.
oh, exactly,
Yeah.
without a single note, just shows a real talent for rhetoric
Absolutely.
and arguments and
Yeah.
philosophy. He's obviously very, very good at what he does. And I mean, he was a classically trained actor, so
There were those moments as well.
yeah.
He had those moments.
He had the drama, and he's got the thing. And when he was like talking about all the things that Western culture has done, like medicine, penicillin, the internet,
shoes,
porn, the wheel. Just all these things. It was a really good talk.
You can tell he's got a bit of that comic in him.
Yeah,
as well.
he's a really good solo speaker. He's really good at standing up and riffing on stage and remaining engaging. Yeah, which if you know his content, you'd know that that's always how it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
And just in terms of like the benefit of this event overall, like we compare this to like 7 months ago at the Milo event. It's like all of a sudden everybody knows who everybody is here in the sort of alt media scene here in Melbourne. And I've got to say, it's huge.
Yeah.
The alt media
quite big.
scene here in Melbourne is massive. Yeah, like they're all here.
Yeah.
Everybody's here. The
It's
Unshackled,
great.
we got Blair. We had Neil Erickson doing his cameo. That was
And he got
hilarious.
kicked out.
Yeah, that was marvelous. That was a highlight. We've got Dio. We've got we just got everybody.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's something building here. Like
It's great.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
really see a real movement going, and people are really happy to have arguments, and people are getting to experience new information, new arguments, the truth properly. And you can see people are really like they're engaged in it.
For me,
It's vibrant.
For me, it's more about crushing our enemies, driving out the women before us. And
That's a
hearing
bonus.
The lamentations of the women. I'm pretty sure I butchered that, but yeah.
Anyway, we'll continue this. We might go and do something later on. Otherwise, I hope you really enjoyed the vlog, and we'll see you at the next live stream or in the next video when we see you.